Hi everybody, Matt, and a rare appearance this summer for Tom with us, because he's busy doing other things at the moment. But today we're in Sowerby Bridge and we're following on our hugely successful Todmorden Pubs Past and Present video series for a one-off wander around Sowerby Bridge to look at some of the past pubs that are in the town here. Now, I don't live in Sowerby Bridge, I don't know it that well, so what I've decided is if it closed before 1950, it's highly unlikely I'm going to cover it, because I probably don't know where it is. So I'll have a go with this one. I will probably get things wrong. It's scary. If I get it wrong, feel free to correct me. I don't bite. I think Tom does. See you soon. So our first pub is on Burnley Road, and it's called today the Copper Cow. But its previous name was the Friendly Inn. Now a good chunk of the pubs we might look at today still exist, but just have different names. Obviously this is a good example. Next pub they'll find along Burnley Road is this one, the White Horse. Now there is a tale that this is a haunted pub, haunted by Elizabeth Baldwin, the wife of James Baldwin, who was the landlord of the pub in 1847. However, as you can see, sadly this one is a pub no more. Not sure if it's been changed into houses or something else. And the last one we find on Burnley Road is the location of this one, which was the Bay Horse. I have memories of that one, but it's not been here for quite a long time. There was a nightclub up here at one point. See where that back wall is? I'm sure there was something up here, but I know it's not on the list, so. About halfway down Tew Lane, we find again another lost pub. This was called the Waiter's Arms. As we continue down Tew Lane, I've actually been a little bit distracted by this space to the left of us here. It's very graffiti covered. It's obviously the ruins of something long gone. If you know what was here, perhaps you could tell me, but certainly been distracted by the building at the top, which is graffiti covered. Just see if it looks like anything interesting. Okay, just garages, but possibly maybe garages for the building that was there before. Let's try not to get too distracted, but actually, as we headed back down into town, we saw this building as well. Now, I don't think or know if this is a former pub, but it's obviously another old abandoned building currently undergoing redevelopment. But that front looks like a pub. So again, if you know what it is, let me know. The building off to our left here is now an Indian restaurant, I think called the Java Restaurant. This was a pub formerly called the Ash Tree. Slightly further up the road, I think this is an old church to the right of us here. But where it branches off onto Wakefield Road, this building here is now a vet surgery, but it was previously called the Prospect Inn. And there's a great old picture of it with a tram idling past. Next to that is this building. This is the Brown Cow. Just below it is Bolton Brow School. And as we head further up, we find the Shepherd's Rest, which I think was closed over lockdown but looks now to be reopened again, which is great. Back down onto Wakefield Road, at the bottom of Bolton Brow School. This one is obviously gone, but there is a sign here that shows what was here, the Ram's Head Inn. Now, what I do remember is a car not so long ago coming down here, and I think the driver sadly had a heart attack and smashed straight into the navigation and passed away. So this was having a lot of work done on it last time I was here. It's now back open, looks okay, apart from it's lost its A.
Navigation.
Mm. At the top of the road we were just stood on would have been this building, the Engineers. This one closed in 2012. I think it's now open as something else. I'm not sure if it's something like the Engine House. But yeah, so it's still there. So we carry on and we look for our next pub, which closed. It's quite one of the earliest closing ones we're filming today, and it was called the Jolly Sailor. And it was this building here in a place called St Anne's Square. So we're now on the main road through Sowerby Bridge. There's a Wetherspoons off to the right here. But there's one or two pubs hidden behind side streets. This one's still open as well. Across the road though, and up the hill, another one that's still open but worth mentioning, I think, is the Blind Pig. Back down onto the main road, and we find this one, which is now called the Bull on the Bridge. It was formerly just known as the Bull's Head. So we'll take a slight detour onto Hollins Mill Lane, and a bit further on here we find a very old pub, and one that is still in use. I think it was boarded up for a while. This is the famous Puzzle Hall. And back to the main road again. This is what would have been the town hall, and off to the left of here was a pub called the Town Hall Tavern. This is now completely demolished. The Hollins is next to it as well. There's a lot of people sat outside, so we won't go sticking my camera in their face, but it's the one with the tank basically. And opposite the town hall, this exists. I'm not sure quite what it would have been if this is a former pub. The doorway would suggest so. So again, if you know what this one is or was, and if it was a pub, maybe you can let me know. It could have even been a nightclub, I suppose. Yeah, intriguing. So as we head across the river and look over to the left-hand side, under the bridge there, we see the former Bridges Bar and Nightclub, which is all boarded up and looking in a very sorry state for itself. Around the other side, under the bridge, for quite some time it still existed, but as you can see, it's now been completely cleared and there is nothing behind those boards. It's empty, which is a shame. It was a nice spot. Around the corner we have a bit of a mystery, because this building on the left looks like it could have been a pub. It is now completely abandoned, but certainly the windows above have a kind of pub feel to it. But I think you can just make out something bank. So potentially it's just an old bank. But if you know what this one is or was, that's what's inside it today. Not a lot. And we have one more former pub and one current pub just in front of us here, again on the corner. That is the Royal Hotel, and on the left is the Loose Goose. Now, I think the Royal Hotel has been gone a long time and is now, looks like flats, doesn't it? But there is some evidence of its existence just on this bottom corner where you can see on the door. And the Loose Goose may well be a reference to the famous Sowerby Bridge geese who hang out in the area just here. So just before we leave Sowerby Bridge Centre, we spotted this building just a bit further up the road. And again, it does still exist. This one's the Royal Oak. It certainly looks like a very old building. I think the date above the door says 1670. Love the painted sign there. Yeah, ancient. We didn't go in it today. Instead, we headed out of town towards Triangle, and the last of our pubs is this one that's called the Triangle on Rochdale Road. Now, sadly, this one is an abandoned, derelict pub. I'm not sure how long it's been that way. It's very intriguing to see a war memorial attached to the side of it, though. So before we finish, let's just see if we can get a little bit of a closer look at the Triangle. Okay guys, so that is our quick whiz around Sowerby Bridge, looking at some of the old pubs of the past and one or two of the present as well. Sadly, the one here at Triangle is definitely not in very good condition. Maybe it can be saved. Interestingly, from the videos we've done like this in the past in Halifax and Todmorden, there's a lot more pubs surviving in Sowerby Bridge than anywhere else, I think. So that was a little fact we found out as we did this. So yeah, let me know which ones I've got wrong or which ones I've forgotten. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon for the next video. Take care.